Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading for Capricorn season. And welcome to the Witch Switch, where we switch off everyday normal life and switch on to the witchery. If you're new, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming back. All right, we're gonna do things a little different. I like to have variety in my readings. I never do the same kind of readings. If I do, it's probably because I like the way that the messages are coming across. But for Capricorn season, we're going to dive into oracle cards and different types of deck with more detail and imagery. And we're going to figure out what the external influences are in your life, how people perceive you, internal influence, how you perceive yourself, and what is the one thing you should focus your time and energy on. Okay, Capricorn season, it's all about getting into the nitty-gritty. It's hard work. It is earning the reward. It's also feeling pleasure from getting that reward because we work so hard for it, okay? So it's a sense of pride that we develop this season. All right, Pisces. Now, I did a reading for you yesterday and it was so good, so good. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant for me to be posted because I would say it was a 13-minute reading. About 4 minutes in, the volume just cut off. It just stopped playing. So I have to redo a new one. But I will say that for some of you, there is someone around who feels very envious of you. And it's someone who is very close to you. Someone who probably had the same upbringing or shared the same life experience with you, and they can't determine why their life hasn't really kicked off for them, or why it's always felt faulty, and you just come out smelling like a rose despite the circumstances. So it's someone who feels that they should have what you have. So I would be very careful. All right, and if you know who this person is, let me know in the comments if it resonated and we can do a personal reading. All right, speaking of personal readings, my website is below, thewitchswitch.com. You can get a personal reading with me via Zoom, or if you live in the New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania area, you can get a reading with me personally. Okay, I do events. My prices are also a little more affordable. I wouldn't say affordable. They're at a discounted rate. In person, it's different. In person, I prefer in-person readings. So if you're in the area, follow me on Instagram. That's where I usually list my events. You can basically follow me there, get a reading, and yeah, we can kind of dive into this. All right. So enough of the talking. Let's get started. All right. So I'm going to pull out 3 more cards from the Poppy Palin deck. This is the one that has a perfect 3 that has the detailed imagery that I like. And then we'll get into another reading in the mix. Okay. So it's going to be a lot of randomness this weekend. Oh, I see we have 4. I will put that here for now. Actually, I'll put it here on top. Let's see. Okay. All right, Pisces, so your external influences, we have focus and we have the 2 of Wands. Now, 2 seems to be the theme for you when it comes to external factors, external influences. The last reading you had 2 of Pentacles, right? So you basically, how you are perceived by others is someone who has choices. Someone who always has a way out. You know, no matter how life hedges you in, you can swim out. All right. There is no nook or cranny too small for you to fit in. You are mutable water. All right. Every Pisces person I read, I tell them, listen, although your archetype or your symbol is a fish, that doesn't mean you are just a Nemo. You dictate who you want to be in the ocean. Do you want to be a shark? Do you want to be a mermaid? Do you want to be a killer whale? Who do you want to be? There are so many species in the ocean, some that we still haven't discovered yet. But you are mutable. You can adapt and be whomever. If you feel trapped, you just, have you ever seen an octopus trapped in a container? It could get itself out. All right. So the choices that life presents to you, you're not limited. And as long as you remain focused and you can kind of see which direction you got to go, you'll always have a way out. And in that case, I feel like, a lot of people see you as someone who is very easily adaptable. All right, internal influence is hunger, and then we have the Queen of Swords. So I think right now, during Capricorn season especially, you're going to be more focused and more disciplined. Okay, you may even see things and perceive things more logically. We just had the full moon in Gemini, so this is also a possibility, Pisces. Remember, you're mutable, so you can adapt easily to the energies around you. You're very empathic for a water sign. But you have this need, this hunger, this desire to perhaps just reach for higher expectation, higher goals. Just it's being able to push yourself past limits that you've never thought that you can acquire before. Okay, so this is very different. You know, you are someone who's very emotional, empathic, you empathize with others. Okay, sometimes the heart rules over the mind. This month, it's going to be the other way around. Okay, so you have a more logical approach to things, and you're not so much basing decisions in your heart space. Okay, so let's see what you got to focus on, Pisces. Nourishment. Make this something that you should prioritize this month. We have the Knight of Wands. Nourishment can be being more active physically, okay? Even being more proactive as to what we consume, who we spend time with, especially if we are engaging in romantic activities with others. Okay, we really want to be, if we're going to indulge in things, we really want to be in the Queen of Swords space. She's someone who gets things done. She sees things as a logical way. She's more expanded. She likes to have adventure, but she's experimental. This is an experimenting phase to see what you like, what you got going for you, and to also determine the life that you want to set for yourself. I feel like this is also the plan. You need something new. You want something different, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You have the option. You have the choice to do it. All right, and you have the drive. All right, what's interesting is we have Wands here. Saturn, which is the planet ruled over Capricorn, is going to be stationing direct in Aries, I believe, late January. So for some of us, we may feel the push already to let go of relationships with people who just want to cause drama and put us in a position to make us feel guilty, or perhaps it's just us always playing victim to circumstances that are no longer existent anymore. It's time to move away from that. Okay, it's time to get ourselves out of relationships or predicaments with others that just always make us feel bad. You know, we're just kind of sick of it, honestly. We're sick of just dealing with manipulators, and we want to build a safe haven for ourselves. We want some security, stability, nourishment even. You have Taurus here. Taurus rules everything luxurious and also rules comfort, and, you know, nourishment's a big thing for them. Food, you know, rest, okay? Just what you like. But in order for you to be able to have the things that you want, you first have to let go of the things that you cannot control, Pisces. If people want to paint you as the bad guy, then be the bad guy. Okay, but what you won't do is always fall victim to circumstances that don't work out in your favor. It's time to let go of the past. It's time to leave it behind. It's time to leave people who just like to keep you in a position where you can't go anywhere. You're just kind of bound, you know? And I think for a long time, you've lost focus because you've always tried to exceed the expectations of other people. Okay, that's not your job. People pleasing can make you into a doormat if you don't know the boundaries. All right. So also, I feel like certain people know what you provide for them, so they'll do what they can to kind of keep you stagnant and keep you feeling guilty and full of shame, because they know you have options. They know that you could swim out, but they give you this illusion, this falsified illusion that you can't go anywhere without them. You can't be anything without them. And that's completely false. All right. You need stability. You need structure. You need security. You need to feel safe. You need to be around someone who allows you to kind of pour yourself into them, into the relationship, into everything that you want and need. 10 is the card of completion here. All right, Pisces. So, we have 2 5s and we got a 10. So what do you want to indulge in? Toxicity and regret? Or do you just kind of want to be done with it and just walk away? Let it all go. It's okay. Things will get better, but you have to be brave. And I think you will. Between having the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands together, that is passion, drive, ambition, and just seeing into the future. Being able to finally understand who you want to be, where you want to be, and getting yourself there. But it's also making sure you do not neglect your needs either. We want to stay focused on ourselves. We also want to nourish ourselves, because once we feel good, once we are proactive, once we eat better and we kind of change our diets, our mood increases, the brain fog dissipates, like we're able to see things much clearly. All right. And this hunger for ambition and drive also will give you fuel to kind of be able to walk away entirely, Pisces. Okay. So I feel like this month for you is being able to focus on what you need to do to achieve your goals and being very disciplined in the process and not allowing anyone or anything to kind of trip you up. Once they trip, because they know they could put you here, whoever this is. And like I mentioned earlier, when I did your reading yesterday, there was someone around who just had a hard time fathoming why you're doing so well despite being in the same circumstance as them, and they don't have the things that you have. Life isn't going the way that they want. But the thing that they don't realize is that they're stuck in a predicament that happened a very long time ago and doesn't exist, and they can't get themselves out. Therefore, they don't want you out of there. They want to take your freedom from you, Pisces. All right? I'm going to leave that there because this is good stuff. Your readings are always about having to refocus your energy, your time, and your attention on yourself. Okay? Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time, Pisces. Have a happy holiday and a new year. Bye.